Hey, hope you enjoyed Naomi Sharon's portion. So my name is Ming Wei. I'll be taking over for the next half of today's session. Okay, I think we are very much on time, and in fact I think we can end pretty early. Okay, it's only 2:25. So this session is about max 55 minutes. So hopefully we can end pretty early today. Okay, so for the next part, okay, please look at your Form C. We'll go through Form C together. So what does Form C comprise of? Essentially, we are looking at your transferable skills. In other words, your critical core skills. So what are these skills? Okay, so in essence, I don't know whether you heard of SSJ, Skills Future Singapore. Okay, this organization has worked hand in hand with a lot of the major employers, industry employers, okay, in Singapore, and they jointly identified 16 different transferable skills that they feel moving forward is going to be essential, it's going to be very helpful for graduates to excel in their work. Okay, so they have categorized into 3 different categories: thinking critically, being able to interact with others, and then staying relevant. So when you look at Form C, right, all the 16 different skills are being labeled out, and some of the description may seem pretty technical. For example, under thinking critically, there's this, or rather in the bottom column, right, there's this one, transdisciplinary thinking. So what does this mean? Okay, if you're not sure, look at your Excel file. There's this sheet called transferable skills description. Okay, all the definitions are listed over here. Or maybe I will give you guys some examples for each of the category. So referring to transdisciplinary thinking, essentially it just means how are you able to combine different technical knowledge, and then marry them into or synchronize them into one. I give you one very real example. For example, BME. Some of you may be interested going into biomed engineering. So essentially, it marries knowledge of human anatomy together with engineering/physics. How do you create medical device that can help identify certain diseases? So this is a very good example that I can think of, right? Then another critical skill or transferable skill, maybe developing people. So what does it mean? Essentially, the definition is empowering people or others to learn and develop their capabilities to enhance their performance and achieve personal or professional goals. So you may think that how does this affect me? When I first go into work, I may be just at the ground level. I'm like a staff. But let's say you work in a team, and somehow you are able to display certain transferable skills, leadership, communication, and then you empower your teammates. You help them. Maybe a particular teammate may be weaker at certain aspects, whereas you have strength in that. Maybe you can help guide this staff of yours. This teammate of yours. So in essence, you're also displaying this particular quality. All right. So another under staying relevant, global perspective. What does it mean? So we are able to work or operate in cross-cultural environments, demonstrating awareness of the wider global context and markets to identify potential opportunities and risks. So one example, or rather personal experience, maybe some of you aspire to work in a multinational corporation, right? Maybe for US firms, for European firms, maybe Chinese firms. In general, different companies, they originate from different countries. They have different style of working. I'll give you one example, which I heard from my friends. This friend of mine is working at ByteDance. So he shared with me, ByteDance culture versus the other tech companies, like for example Microsoft, Facebook, Google. Their culture, ByteDance culture is very straightforward. The bosses tell him, there's no need to be the best. Don't have to spend so much resources and money to create the best environment. So you can see that when you go to the pantry, they may not offer you free food, free drinks. Whereas when you go to Amazon, Microsoft, back in the past, now maybe not so much. Or you can get a lot of free drinks from the pantry, right? So this is the Chinese firm culture, right? So for European firm, okay, they tend to focus more on work-life balance. Whereas for the US firm, okay, they will reward their employees handsomely, but they are also very, in a way, cold-hearted. If you cannot perform, they give you maybe 1 or 2 chances, and then out you go. So in general, you need to understand how different, culture works. Now I'll just give you guys some examples, okay? So when we look at Form C, okay, transferable skills, again, what you need to do is you just go through 16 of these. Okay, you can indicate yes or no, whether do you feel you have the confidence, okay, in this particular transferable skill. Okay, you may not, at this juncture, you may tell yourself or you may ask yourself, I do not think I have this particular skill as of yet. But are you confident or are you comfortable to, moving forward in the near future, try to acquire, okay, these transferable skills? And these transferable skills are going to be very helpful for you, okay, moving forward in your further education or in your future work. Another example I can think of, recently I just met one of your senior. He's a year 3 electronics engineering student. Okay, I actually met him when he was in year 2. He was thinking of transferring course, but he couldn't do it. Okay, so moving fast forward, okay, now that I met him in year 3, okay, he shared with me he changed his perspective. And then, I don't know whether you guys are aware, in your year 3, you need to do SIP. In other words, they call it internship. Okay, so usually school will assign you, up to you, but you also have the freedom to go and source for your own internship. So this student did that. Yeah, he managed to look for 3 different internships. 3 different companies offered him internship. One from Schneider Electric, one from Razer, the laptop mouse. The last one from Sony Electronics. And Schneider Electric actually told him, okay, this internship position was meant for an undergraduate, but they decided to offer him. Why? Okay, to be honest, his grades is not very fantastic, just slightly below 3.0. Okay, but he managed to impress, the interviewer with his portfolio, with his soft skills. Okay, he knows how to present himself. He knows how to think critically. So you can see how transferable skills actually help. Okay, right? So maybe what are the, just now I mentioned already, what are the transferable skills you think you are confident in or you want to acquire, right? And any particular experience or activities you think you can do to help you acquire those transferable skills. So I will give you guys again a song worth of time that is shorter. You all can try it out. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me or Sharon.